What's up, ding-dongs? Backed by popular demand of one person, we're quickly developing our friend Tedhattan and his neighbors with a more capable transit network. Thanks to Chris Jola, maybe Yola, for suggesting this video. And if you've not seen the original, I'd recommend checking it out. We'll start off with upgrading our long-distance passenger tracks, add a local train network to Ted and friends, flesh out their bus network a bit more, and finish with a nice and tidy time-lapse of the Tri-City area growing. We want to run a couple more trains to ensure that passengers don't have to wait too long for their rides. To enable that, we'll first want to upgrade the track between Tedhattan and Chenpool with a line for each direction. I personally take pride in both my laziness and my impatience, and I hope to encourage that behavior in the virtual world as well. We'll start at Tedhattan. Despite living in London, I do have an American accent, so I generally stick with right-hand drive for my trains. Since the station can already handle incoming trains with our current tracks, that means adding an outgoing line. Those tracks will start next to the entrance. Then, we can repurpose the passing siding and hook it up to the main line. Next, we just need to connect a direct route for our incoming trains from the main line. We'll use a bridge to cross over the freight line and then hook that up to the station. And for Chenpool, we can reuse the passing siding for the right-hand drive entrance, then head on down to the main line, continue the side-by-side tracks, and connect the incoming track up with a fun pair of bridges. Generally, you'll benefit from leaving a little more space between the tracks than I did, so I'd advise learning from my mistakes. And here's a quick overview of what we just did. We know Tedhattan loves trains, but we've not even given a second thought to his neighbors, and I think that's incredibly rude. To make up for it, we'll plop down a station in each of them and make sure they're regularly visited. To get out of Tedhattan, we've got some tricky grounds to traverse. We'll start with a pair of bridges to cross over the existing tracks. We could go with another pair to finish, but I think switching over to tunnels would look nice, so let's do that. We'll finish off with a straight up janky three-way intersection, and then we'll add in some trains. One thing to note here is that we get regularly spaced out service using the unbunch feature. Thanks to BeefGriller8858 for suggesting this. It's something that I didn't know about and is really helpful and way more simple than timetables. To use it, just add a depot as one of the stops in the schedule, set it to unbunch, and the trains will handle the rest. Finally, we'll select the group they're in and make them a different color than the yellow fellas on the main line so we can tell them apart more easily. And a nice added bonus is that we'll get to surprise the locals with the fact that trains don't have to be yellow. And finally, more buses. We'll start off by building some more roads and loops to put the buses on. We want to help the towns expand, and we also want to build bus stops where they'll be useful in the future, even if that means destroying some houses on the way. Once we've got the stops made, it's bus time. We'll buy a bunch more, then unbunch them with the depot. And you've all been so polite and have done a great job watching the video so far, so have a quick time lapse on me of them bunching and unbunching. And that should do it. Now it's just time to watch Ted and friends grow up big and strong. Thanks for watching, and bye!